Okay, today's wood is good old hackberry. And this is going to be part one of kind of a series that I'm thinking about doing on the profiles of different hardwoods when it pertains to splitting for firewood, burning, seasoning, etc. And for where I live, there's no better candidate to start it off than hackberry. Oof. So a little bit about this tree. It is a kind of a medium, middle of the road hardwood. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally like it. And I'll tell you why. It has classically been lumped into the elm family. And I can't remember the Latin, something occidentalis or something. But some circles classify it in its own family. It is better firewood than elm. It splits better. It burns hotter. So, I don't know. Well, I guess that really matters. The wood is used for pulp and pallets, and sometimes indoor paneling. It's not resistant to any kind of beetle or fungus or bug or anything. So it is not a good exterior construction wood. To a tie sticks every once in a while. But I think it's a great firewood, and there's three reasons. One, it's not too hard to split. This stuff has been sitting for a couple weeks. Anytime firewood sits for a couple weeks, that makes it harder, I think. But split's pretty good. Doesn't burn all night. It's not like a throw in hackberry before bed kind of a wood. You save that for your oak, your locust, hickory. But it lights easy. It burns hot for the time that it burns. And it's a great wood, what I like to call light wood, starter wood. So if it's cold and I want a quick fire to get the other hardwoods going, hackberry is pretty choice. It's also super abundant where I live. Usually it follows farmers around, because when they clear land, put fences and livestock up, and then don't maintain it, hackberry will spread in there along the fence rows, in the yards, creeks, stuff like that. So follows people around really good. That means there's lots of it. Some people hate it because it does make the ground or cars around it black with sap in the summer, and because it drops limbs. I like it because it drops limbs, because that means I get some free firewood, because everybody gives hackberry away. It splits good for the most part. If you let it sit and it's not straight grained, it can be a bear to split. But definitely is not like elm. I mean, it's not splitting clean every time, but you know, I don't really want it to. I want it to hold itself up a little bit. I'm also probably splitting this smaller than it has to be, but I like smaller size, especially these. These are not very tall. I mean, this is 12, 14 inches. Tree trimmer wood. You don't know what you're gonna get there. You may get one that's 2 feet long. You may get one that's 6 inches. Those guys just cut with a saw drop. So here's a good example. There's one piece. Here's another one. I don't know if you can see that very well, but look. Yeah, it was off the frame there a little bit. Let's see what we got. So there you go. Difference is what you get from the tree trimmers, but it's free and they've already cut it up, so I'll take it. Pieces like this little one here look funny, but they split pretty easy, and that one won't split easy. I'm not even gonna mess with it right now. If you split them in half, it's all kind of ingrained, but not a whole lot of difference in those two pieces. The other thing about hackberry that is really nice, it's July now when I'm filming this. It's covered in dried poison ivy, poison oak. It's July when I'm filming this, and I'm splitting this for this fall, this winter. Might not be 100% seasoned, but it doesn't take this stuff long. And if you give it more than 6 months, it's almost too seasoned. It burns too fast. So a little bit of moisture in this wouldn't be too bad. Plus, breaking down to small pieces, get your kindling fire going, and have a few of these little splits, because I know it's going to burn long, so I don't want a big chunk in there that the stove's got to burn through. I'm not going to do that with it. And it's pretty hot. Like right now, it's 6 in the morning, and it's probably pretty pleasant. I mean, it's, I don't know, 75. Humidity's about 90%, but it's going to be in the upper 90s today and the rest of this week and some next week. And it's super dry this year, which is bad for the trees and such. It's good for curing firewood. So I'm hoping that this little stack will be ready to go. Actually, I'm hoping that this heat works this oak I've got over that I cut last summer. I feel like it won't, because it was cut down with the leaves on. Last summer here was pretty mild. We had 1 week in the 90s and everything else is in the 80s, and it rained. So those trees were good and hydrated. This year, not so much. So that's hackberry. I don't ever turn it down unless it's really funky big pieces that are full of knots. I don't have a splitter, so if I can't split it, manhandle it by hand, I don't want it. But I'm definitely not a snob when it comes to this stuff. I like splitting. All right, I've got some sassafras here from the other day, from the 4th actually. I'll do it next. And I got a little sugar maple. I don't think I got enough to really do a whole bunch of splitting and talking on it, but it may be. But yeah, hackberry. I think this is southern hackberry and there's a northern variety too. I don't know the difference. I would imagine that it's aesthetic, like the leaves are bigger, but the wood's the same, be common. So these trees. So yeah, don't turn it down, but just use it the right way. Use it to get your real hardwoods going, or use it if you've had a busy winter and don't start cutting wood till spring. Follow the spring thunderstorms around here come through, and if we get a gnarly one, you know there's gonna be a pile of hackberry somewhere that somebody wants to get rid of before the city comes and gets it. Or buddy up with the local utilities. They'll call you too. It's one less haul for them. It's a little stringy, but not bad. That's why it's good to have a good sharp implement. You can shoot some strings in there. Okay, good enough. See you next time.